start off my speech, I'd like to ask everybody to raise their hand who's ever heard like a parent or a grandparent say that they were wasting their time on a video game. See, as all of you know, many of the older generations think that video games are a waste of time and that people shouldn't play them, but that's just not true. A study by the U.S. National Library shows that video games can be used in pain management because the concentration level you have to use on the video game takes the mind away from the pain and it helps you to heal that area. It can also be used in paralysis therapy for people who have like major brain injuries or have been in car accidents. And recently, video games have been under a lot of scrutiny. So the Pew Research Center has done a research over what people believe that video games are about. It says that 1/4 of adults believe that video games are a waste of time, and that about 25% of all people believe that video games can help develop better problem solving and strategic thinking skills. I think that everyone should at least try video games more, because even if you don't like play a lot of video games, it can also help in like stress management and improve your mood. There is one case of a woman who was a computer programmer, and she created her own game called Super Better. Her name is Jane McGonigal, and she was in a horrible accident, and she got a intense brain injury. It caused her constant pain, and she needed some way to get out of her depression. So she created this game, and it wasn't at first available to everyone, but she played it herself to allow her to cope with her pain and her depression. It's now called Super Better, and it has helped a lot of people with cancer and chronic pain, and a lot of people even with depression. I think that everyone should try more video games, because as long as you're playing a video game, you can't just constantly think about all the homework and all the stress that you're in. So even like if your parents are going through divorce or something, you can cope with that because the video games will just take your mind off it. Another way that video games can help people is because it allows you to improve your motor skills and your ability to scan your surroundings. It allows you to improve your relaxation ability, and it helps to ward off your anxiety. And even when you like lose a level in a video game, you're improving your resilience to your everyday life. Like if you fail a math test or something, you know that you can just keep working at it and get even better than before. So even when you fail at something, video games can still help you, because you know that even after you don't win the first level 7 or 8 times, even if you beat it the 9th time, it's just like every day. You can go to work and do the same thing over and over, and if you still can't do it, then maybe eventually you'll be able to do it. Also, video games can also help you meet a lot of new people, like on Facebook gaming and just Xbox Live. People can all the time on there, so once you get out there, you can meet people who have the same likes as you and can be a lot into what you're into. A lot of video games also allow you to improve your decision-making skills. So, like, there are games that use everyday styles of play, kind of, that are like what you dress, what you eat, what you're going to cook, and they allow you to put that into your everyday life so that you always understand how and what you're going to do next. In conclusion, I'd like to bring you all to talk to your family and your friends about how video games can help improve them and how they can feel more relaxed and have a better concentration skills. And I would also like you to try more video games again, because, like I said,
how does it benefit you, like, more mentally to like play a video game than it does to like go out and like work out or do something?
Well, the game helps your mind more than your body. It can help with like fine motor skills with your hands and your eyes, while working out would just be like physical activity and movement.
So I know that like one thing with texting, since your hands are like in the same position as you would be to hold like a video game controller, like you putting your hands at a high risk for arthritis and carpal tunnel. So is there like an alternative that you could do instead of always being in that position? Because I know you said it helps with the mind, but how does that actually help with?
Well, with stuff like that, there's been studies where like physical therapy doctors have created stretches for your hands and your wrists so that you don't get carpal tunnels and stuff. But I don't think, there are some controllers and stuff where you can just have it down by your lap or wherever you need it to be so that you can stay comfortable. Actually.
Do you believe that some video games are better than others, like in terms of violence? So Call of Duty, would that have more of a negative effect than a positive effect?
Well, it just depends. Like, I know the military uses games like Call of Duty to train your personnel. It just depends on the game and what you're going to be doing with it.
You talked a lot about how it's a good distraction for like stress and stuff, but then like what do you think is the point where it becomes too much of a distraction? Like it distracts you from what you have to get done.
Well, there are some cases of addiction where people just don't remember to do any of their bodily functions like eat, go to the bathroom. But that would be like a point of no return. But like an hour or two a day should be fine.
Going off of what Ashley said, like the games like Grand Theft Auto, do you think like players are playing those type of games too much? So like they're kind of being brainwashed to think that that's okay in society, creating a higher crime rate?
It could be tied to that, but I think that as long as people know what the difference between reality is and the game, they should be fine.
Is there some sort of rehabilitation for people who get addicted to video games?
There is, but I'm not sure how effective it is. But I could look into that.
Since the blue light from TV screens affects your sleep, has there any been health concerns?
Well, normally you wouldn't just sit and play a video game while you're trying to go and sleep.
Well, like staying up all night.
Well, staying up all night, like the addiction, yeah, that can force you to not sleep. But normally you just be able to turn it off and not have to stare at the blue light.
Is there like a recommended amount of time it's supposed to be the ideal
Well,
amount?
about an hour to 2 hours. It can be anywhere around like 80 hours a week. But just make sure you do like the stretches and get away from the screen when you need to, so your eyes and your hands can rest.
Okay, so touching on what Colin said, I know like with the iPhones, they have like the setting, like the night shift, and it's softer on your eyes, so it kind of makes the screen look a little yellow. Is that like something that could possibly, or are they worked into video games,
A lot of
or are they still blue?
PCs and TVs have settings that you can turn down the blue light and yellow